So we've talked a lot about the basic process of fusion and also different types of fusion machines like a Tokamak. But really the goal of all this is to build a power plant. And so how do you turn fusion, or a fusion machine, into a full power plant? Typically in fusion, your fusion machine will make heat. So neutrons will come out, they'll bounce around, they'll heat up whatever they hit. You want to turn that heat into electricity. So at CFS, we're going to cover our Tokamak, the outside of it, in what we call a blanket. And that just means it's something that covers it. It absorbs the heat of the neutrons. Specifically, we'll use a molten salt, so a liquid salt, which you can then use to absorb the heat. It's actually very similar to how a concentrated solar plant works. They also use molten salts. You then take that molten salt, you flow it through some pipes. And those pipes will go next to pipes that carry water. So you'll use the water to cool off the salt, and the salt will heat up the water. The hot water eventually becomes steam. You then take that steam, you flow it through a turbine, which is basically a bunch of fans. And you spin the turbine, and that makes electricity that comes out the other end. So it turns out that everything from the water downward looks almost exactly the same as a coal power plant or any kind of other thermal power plant. You can take out the coal furnace that burns coal, and you can put in a Tokamak or some other kind of fusion machine that will also make heat, and then everything else actually looks very similar. Very similar steam turbine, very similar connection to the grid. A Tokamak, a fusion power plant, can kind of plug into the existing power grid and transmit electricity to power a big city, to power industry, to power your home, without having to reinvent all that technology. So here at CFS, we are now building Spark. This is a demonstration machine which will show a lot of the technology. The next thing after that is what we call ARC. That'll be a full commercial fusion power plant. It'll be connected to the grid, it'll supply electricity. It's really important that after we build the first ARC, we can then go build many of these all around the world. In fusion, as we transition toward a clean energy economy, it's important that you can scale very rapidly and have your technology built all around the world to address the need for clean energy and move away from fossil fuels.